Go.
Okay, hi, I'm Monica and welcome to my segment of Anything Goes. And why have I called it Anything Goes is because I've taken a very basic recipe for scones and I'm going to infuse some tomato flavoring into it, and so we are going to change it up. Next, we look at my ingredients. So these are the ingredients that I'm going to use for my scones. We're going to start with the very basic ones, which is 2 cups of flour, 1/3 a cup of vegetable oil, 2/3 a cup of buttermilk, a quarter teaspoon of salt, baking soda and baking powder. And for my flavors, I'm going to add tomatoes and I'm going to put garlic in, as well as oregano because oregano goes well with tomatoes. And I'm going to incorporate some cheddar cheese as well because that's extra flavor.
Go.
Okay, so let's get started by sauteing the tomatoes. And I've got my cup of oil here and I'm going to just use a little bit to saute the tomatoes. Why I'm doing this is so that there's not too much moisture in it.
Smile.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Now you add a bit of salt and a bit of oregano for the flavor, as I mentioned.
Whoa.
I'm using quite a bit because I have quite a lot of batter as well, and I want it to be seasoned well. So that's just a light fry to incorporate flavor rather than to actually cook the tomatoes, because I actually like my tomatoes a little bit plump. And we're done. Me pouring this into this. Okay, so I'm just gonna fill this up, 2/3 a cup as I mentioned. Oops, oops. Okay, there we go. 1 cup in total. Okay, so now you need to sift in the flour because you don't want clumpy flour. So I'm just gonna get that in there.
Okay, again.
I'm sorry, this is taking a while. Need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's about 2 teaspoons. And then you need a quarter a teaspoon of baking soda. That's about a quarter. And then another quarter a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add a little bit extra because I have tomatoes in there and I didn't really season them that thoroughly. So that's another half a teaspoon, I think. Maybe a bit more. And now we add the cheese. I love cheese. Okay, I'm going to use about 1 handful. Oops. That's about 1 handful. Well, maybe a bit more. I love cheese. Grandma never says that it's bad to put cheese, so I've got my cheese in. And I'm just going to remove my garlic pieces and add these tomatoes in. Okay, I'm just going to incorporate this together first before I add my wet ingredients so that I get an even batter. Okay, so I think that's pretty well mixed now. And we're going to add this in. We won't over stir this because I don't want it to become too dense. The idea is that this should be light and fluffy. So I've added my buttermilk and my oil, and now I'm just mixing it and not stirring too hard. As I said, I don't want too much air. Next, I'm just going to gather my dough and sort of roll it into a ball, and this makes it easier for me to shape it later. It should be a little bit flaky, not so dense and sticky. So just like this. And there you have it, my ball of flavor. Now I'm going to heat up the oven and then we're going to roll out our dough later on. So come on, come on, come on. It's going to be at 230 degrees. I'm going to set this for 1 hour and on bake. It's just my oven setting though. Just a regular oven at 230 is fine. I'm going to put it slightly higher so that it gets a little bit more crusty on the outside, and then later turn it down when I'm baking. This should be about an inch thick. I floured my board and I floured my roller because I don't want the dough to stick. So we have about an inch here now, and I've used a cookie cutter to shape this because I'm just using basically anything around the house that's round. And well, as anything goes, so there you have it. That's one shape, and these are the rest of the ones that I've made earlier. I'm just going to put them together. No hard and fast rule about it being perfect. It's scones, and they're fun. And there's another. And there's another.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, so now that I'm done cutting these up, so I've made about 18 in total. I'm going to put it into my oven. So, top rack, and I'm going to turn down the heat just slightly and let it bake for about 20 minutes. Look at this one. That's the remainder. Nothing goes to waste. Under the rainbow, under the sea, boom, boom, you are forever, you are for me when Okay, so they are about done. I'm going to take them out of the oven. Oh, that's hot. Oh, okay. Then I'm going to place them aside to cool. That's our first batch, and I'm going to grab the second one as well. And that's number 2. And we're done.
Okay.
Okay, now these have cooled off. I'm going to introduce you to my lovely assistant, who's also going to be my official food tester. So this is Jessica.
Hello.
And she's going to take a first bite.
I'm so lucky.
Moment of truth. And how's that taste?
Oh my god. It's so good. It tastes like pizza.
Alright, and that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
So there you have it. That's my Anything Goes scones, tomato flavored. Thank you for watching. Bye!